Coffee and Convo, y'all. Let's get it. Yo, salute to everybody already here in the building. You guys know what time it is. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider Man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys wipe them feet. That means get those likes up. And also hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, a ton to talk about right now. Real quick, man, salute to everybody. I see Green Dot Gang is heavy in the building. Vibe says, Polo Graphk, I just left church, brother. I just took my sons to church, man. My son Elijah has a newfound love, for church. So we just left right now. Hence the collared shirt and the mini coffee. You know what I'm saying? But a ton to talk about. We're going to talk about the mock scrimmage yesterday. We're going to talk about Lonnie Johnson Jr. update on his injury, which is sad, man, because this dude was saying all the right things in his pressers on Twitter, saying he wants to, retire a Raider. He just put a tweet out there yesterday, you guys, and he pretty much doubled down on that, saying that he still wants to retire a Raider. We'll get to that here in a second. I also want to talk about the Micah Parsons thing, man. I know a lot of people in the nation, it's kind of like a split down the middle. A lot of people are all for it. Once again, you guys, this is definitely a dream, okay? Anybody that would like to have Micah Parsons on this roster, I don't know if you guys seen the comments that Jerry made yesterday saying, Dallas Cowboys fans, don't lose any sleep. We'll get to that in the actual words that he used, but I wouldn't hold my breath for any type of move for Micah Parsons, but I'm getting really irritated with people out there that are saying the Raiders aren't in a position to make this kind of move. And I'm going to give you my reasoning behind that here in a second. But real quick though, man, once again, man, salute to everybody here in the building. Pastor Raider, my brother, I appreciate you, man. Yes, had to. My son has been slowly doing little things where I was like, hey, man, you want to start going to church? And he's like, yeah, man, downloading the apps and getting the daily scriptures and all that good stuff. So, I said, you know what? Today is the day I take my sons, the wife. I said, sleep in and just do your thing. I'm going to take the boys to church. So, but yeah, man, it was a really good service. Salute to my boy for getting me out the house and getting me back involved with the church, man. Israel, there's no reason for that. And real quick, for those who are like wondering the situation with Lonnie Johnson, Jeremy Fowler put it out there this morning, you guys. Safety, Lonnie Johnson Jr. suffered a broken fibula at practice Saturday. I believe Max Crosby rolled up on him. Per source, the 6-year vet is getting an MRI to determine if there's additional damage. Johnson was in the mix for a rotational role in Vegas. This guy got some reps in the slot, was playing the safety position. This sucks. A guy that, once again, was all in on becoming a Raider. You hate to see it. I seen him communicating with Raider fans on Twitter and social media and stuff like that. He was just doing everything right, man. But, one thing I love about him is he did say, this isn't it, on Twitter in so many words, and that he'll bounce back from this. So I don't know the timeline, but if I'm a guessing man, I'd assume that he's going to miss pretty much the entire season. If not, maybe we, just put him on the IR, keep him there, and then potentially he, comes back late November, maybe December. But no updates there yet. But Pete Carroll did say yesterday that it was a significant injury. I mean, we can kind of see it. He was actually carted off the football field. So we knew initially it was going to be pretty bad. And, once again, Jeremy Fowler puts it out there. It is a broken fibula. So Hey, man, you guys know this, right? Football is football. It happens. At this point, all we can do is just pray for Lonnie Johnson, hope that he gets back healthy, quick, fast, and in a hurry. But, this is why we have, other young guys at the safety position to come in. I know Chris Smith came in for him yesterday at the scrimmage. He was the first safety to jump on the football field when Lonnie Johnson went down. We still have Trey Taylor. So once again, you guys, this isn't a situation where I think we're going to jump the gun to go get a Justin Simmons or one of those type of guys. Honestly, I don't think that it's necessarily a need at all. For what? You know what I mean? Like, you have young guys there that you want to see get a look. Once again, Harper can play in the nickel, but he also plays the safety position. You got Trey in year 2 out of Air Force. We want to see what he has. Chris Smith, a guy that a lot of us liked a lot coming out of Georgia in that draft when we took him, I believe, in the 5th, 6th round. So, we shall see. But there's no real reason to go spend, a shit ton of money in free agency to bring in a veteran at this point when you have some young guys that I'm waiting to see, what they can do at the next level. Big Tone, maybe. I don't know. I just know regardless, he'll be placed on the IR. I do believe that he was going to make this roster. I know that Pete was really high on him, a veteran guy. I mean, he's only 26 years old, but 26, 27, I believe. But maybe, that'd be great. 8 to 12 weeks. Hey, man, then maybe. But once again, remember this, though, Big Tone. 8 to 12 weeks is the injury, right? And then you got to get back in football shape. And, I just think it's a process here. And one thing about Lonnie Johnson, he signed a 1-year deal. He wasn't really afforded the luxury to miss a ton of football with this team. Pete Carroll is in this small window of win now mode. He has that 3-year deal, 4-year team, team option contract. He's 73 years old. So I just don't know where he fits moving forward in the grand scheme of things. But once again, he's still young. He's in his mid-20s. He will bounce back from this. I just don't know if, he'll ever suit up as a Raider again. We don't know. I just don't know. Would I like him to? Definitely. But once again, this gives the young guys an opportunity to go out there and get right. So salute to my brother Hug D's in the building as well. For those who are just joining, man, it was pretty severe, you guys. The injury was significant. Like Pete Carroll said, a broken fibula. And I seen the play, and it looks as though Max kind of rode up on him, and Lonnie just instantly grabbed the lower leg. And now we know what it is. He suffered a broken fibula, which is nasty. Salute to Lonnie Johnson. I hope that he gets healthy soon and he's able to continue his NFL career. So we shall see. Christopher says Greg Newsome. Okay. Well, I know Cleveland, right? I mean, there was so many talks of them potentially moving on from him. I seen some type of trade proposal where the Raiders would have sent a 7th round or 6th round pick for Greg and like a 6th round pick or something along those lines, right? I'm not against it, but once again, this is a guy that I don't know where Cleveland is with him. Are they still high on him? Are they not? There's been a huge amount of rumors and rumblings around the league that he would be available, but I don't know if Cleveland is really willing to move on from him. So we shall see. Let me see. Look, I'm assuming we got Trey Taylor and Chris Smith, 2 guys that can step up in his absence. And then also remember this, you guys, Harper, we've been hearing a ton about him playing in the nickel. He's also a safety. So we have a ton of depth on this roster that can potentially, pick up those reps, that Lonnie Johnson was going to provide for us. So I'm hoping that Trey gets a ton of looks moving forward, though. You know what I mean? And next man up, you guys, it's the NFL. The thing is this, and this is no shade to Lonnie Johnson, but there's a ton of injuries already happening around the NFL and training camp. Once again, this is no shade. I don't want anybody to take this out of context, but thank God it was a rotational player. We still got time in training camp for some bad things to happen, but our stars are still intact right now. I don't think that Lonnie Johnson was going to be a starter for us come day one. He was definitely going to crack that rotation and give us a ton of reps at the safety or in the nickel or wherever they see fit. But, once again, I'm just hoping that these starters can stay healthy. So come week 1, we're ready and prepared to go. So wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? New regime, new way of doing business. Love seeing Tom on the sidelines for the mock game. The wisdom he can instill is second to none. Yes, man. I know that Dante was out there speaking to him. I hit him up And I was like, man, that conversation had to have been heavy for you. Like the GOAT speaking to you, man. He was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So, but salute to Tom, out there, raidered out, decked out with Spytek on the sideline. He was out there being very active. I believe he even had a playbook or something along those lines out there. He knew every step of the way what was going on out there. I'll tell you that. And he was very vocal, speaking to players at training camp the day before and at Allegiant Stadium yesterday for the scrimmage. So I am hyped. I'm hyped for this, man. It's kind of crazy seeing Tom Brady in the silver and black. It's low-key wild, but I'm here for it. I know you guys are here for it. Hopefully this equals a ton of wins this upcoming season. So to Alex, what up, man? How do you feel about our secondary? I'm not sure how I feel about them, to be honest. Not trying to be negative, just unsure what we're going to see out there week one and so on and so forth. This is the thing. We're very young. We're very young. This is a young man's game. You know what I mean? We could have did the old school Raider way, right? Went out there, got a Gilmore. Mike Hilton was available at one point before he went to Miami with all those injuries that they had. We could have went about this the old Raider way, bringing it up. I'm here for it, man. Pete Carroll knows, you guys, what to look for. He went out there and drafted Darian Porter in round 3. He brought in Eric Stokes, even after all the injuries that he sustained, in Green Bay, after being a former first-round pick out of Georgia that Green Bay was really high on. That rookie year looked really good and then kind of fell from grace from there. I mean, look, it's not a coincidence, you guys. We're hearing great things about DeCameron Richardson in year 2 after we didn't really hear a ton about him last season. This is Pete Carroll, the DB whisperer. This is the only reason I'm not freaked out about our corners or our safeties, the DBs in general. I'm okay with it. They brought Palomalu back. Great. He fits what Pete Carroll wants to do. The lengthy physical safety. They brought in Jeremy Chin, a guy that can move up into the slot, play both safety spots. This is a guy that fits what Pete Carroll's trying to do. So once again, I am okay with our secondary right now. Would it be a little bit more, would I be able to sleep a little bit more at night knowing that we had like a clear-cut number one there at the corner spot? Definitely. But once again, I'm going to trust the guy that has been able to do this year in and year out, which is Pete Carroll. He's 73 years old. He is the architect of a Legion of Boom. He did some great things out there at USC as well, and every other stop that he's been. I'm going to trust the process here with Pete Carroll. So once again, I'm excited to see Stokes. If he's high on him, I'm high on him. If he's high on Darian Porter, I'm high on him. If he's high on DCam and Jacorian, I'm high on him as well. So, and then another kid, JT Woods, who just came over to the Raiders not a few weeks ago as well. So, look, I'm going to give all the praise to Pete Carroll, and hopefully he works wonders with this defense. Well, in particular, the DBs. And once again, he did say an oppressor a few weeks back that this is the best DBs that he's had ever looked before. And he said that the Legion of Boom would kind of be pissed off a little bit, but he was being truthful. But I don't know if that meant in terms of measurables and speed and so on and so forth. But he said it. So, hey, I'm here for it, man. Salute to my brother CGR in the building, man. Always good to see my guy. Thomas says, no, keep the first-round pick and let Spytek cook next draft. This is the thing, y'all. We'll get there. We'll talk about the scrimmage afterwards. I want to talk about this Micah thing, okay? I see a lot of people saying, why would the Raiders do this? Why would the Raiders do that? I mean, hey, woo. You guys, Micah Parsons is 26 years old, okay? He is a year younger than Malcolm Kuntz, okay? And this is no knock to our guy, Malcolm Kuntz. If Kuntz plays out of his mind this season, guess what happens, you guys? You have to pay him a shit ton of money next off season. Regardless, you're going to be paying an edge rusher next season. If it's Malcolm Kuntz or if it's a Micah Parsons, whoever it is, if Tyree ends up, turning that, that corner this upcoming season, you can pick up the fifth-year option here pretty soon. But regardless, Kuntz is on a one-year deal. If he plays out of his mind, you can't let him walk. You got to pay him. Micah Parsons is a guy, okay, that is 26 years old. He fits the timeline of what we are trying to do out here with the Raiders. We are in win now mode with Pete Carroll, okay? He's not trying to just turn this thing around and then walk off into the sunset. He's trying to win while he's here. 1 second, you guys. Gotta pull out the food for the boys. All right. My apologies, you guys. But this is a guy in Micah Parsons where Spytek hasn't really made, a major splash up to this point, right? Has he? I mean, they went out and made a move for Geno Smith, which is, okay, a splash move because he's your quarterback one. You move a third-round pick, you bring him in. I think the biggest move that Spytek made was just saying, hey, let's get, like, this Christian Wilkins thing isn't working out. But honestly, kept his draft picks, went out there, full draft class. I think, on paper, this is a phenomenal draft class. But how do you not make a move? And once again, you guys, I do not believe that Micah is going to be available. Once again, this is a dream, okay? This is a dream. But you guys remember a few months back when Myles Garrett was available and he was trying to get out of Cleveland, right? I did a video and I said, if you can get Myles Garrett, you go get him. And guess what? He is 5 years older than Micah Parsons, I believe, somewhere along those lines. Micah is literally not even hit. He hasn't even hit the pinnacle of his career yet. This is a guy that already in his young career has 52.5 sacks, you guys. Every single season, he's been an all-pro or Pro Bowl guy. 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, okay? Last season, he only played in 13 games. He was nicked up a little bit, but still had 12 sacks. The year prior, played in all 17 games, started in all 17 games, had 14 sacks, okay? The year before that, played in all 17 games, started in all 17 games, 13.5 sacks. Defensive player of the year, his rookie season, a rookie defensive player, rookie of the year, played in all 16 games, started in all 16 games, had 13 sacks, okay? This guy gets a ton of tackles every single game. This is a guy that if you want to prove to everybody in this fan base that you're really, truly going all in, you go make a move for Micah Parsons if he's available. Once again, if he's available, okay? This is crazy. For anyone to think that this would not be the right move to make to go get a guy like this, it's absolute insanity. I don't understand it. I don't care what it costs. A couple firsts, a couple mid-round picks, a potential Tyree or a Malcolm. This is Micah Parsons, you guys. When have we seen an edge rushing duo like Crosby and Micah Parsons? And then I start to hear things like, well, what is Max going to feel like if you pay him more than you pay Max? Max, at that point when he got that contract, wasn't he the highest paid non-quarterback of all time when he got his deal not too long ago? Was he? The market is the market, you guys. I don't understand this whole argument of what do you think Max is going to think? Max is going to think, I want to win. So go get Micah Parsons. I don't care what it costs. You go do it. Simple and plain. He fits the timeline. He's 26 years old. Production-wise, he's above and beyond what we have outside of Max Crosby, and even Max Crosby involved as well, because Mike is one of the better edge rushers in football. He's great getting after the quarterback. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I don't understand it. People say, oh, well, we'll have to go get a quarterback, in next year's draft class, or you don't want to not have your first round. Man, give me Micah Parsons. Simple and plain. You got Geno for another 3 years. He's only 34 years old. There's not a ton of tread off those tires, off those wheels, because he missed a ton of football, at the beginning of his career. He didn't play necessarily all the time. So he has a ton of tread left on him. Keep him around. If you can get Micah Parsons, go get Micah Parsons. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I mean, I watched a second rounder win a Super Bowl last year in Jalen Hurts. And I know that, Tom Brady's an anomaly, right? 7 championships, was drafted in the 6th round. But we've seen this before. We've seen Nick Foles win a championship. Jalen, who was supposed to be a developmental type talent coming out of Alabama, won a Super Bowl last season. And guess why? Yeah, he had a great running back in Saquon Barkley. Well, we have Ashton Genty, right? He had a phenomenal O-line. We'll see where ours is in due time. But that defensive line was insane. It was insane. You add Micah to this defensive line, and good luck, man. If I can have – I would rather have Micah, and this may be a hot take, you guys, and y'all may kill me for this. I would rather have Micah than any quarterback in next year's draft. And guess what? If Spytek is the guy that I know he is, he doesn't have to get a quarterback in round 1. You can find one in round 2. You can find one in round 3. Whatever it is, simple and plain, whatever Jerry would want if he decides to move on from Micah, send it. Send it. And there's already a ton of betting websites that have the Raiders at number 1 to make the move, because not only do we have the money right now to do it, but we have the money for the future to do it. For the future. And Omar, there you go. Russell Wilson, right? He would have had 2 rings, but he got 1. And guess who that was with? With Pete Carroll. And what round did Russ go in? Was it the 3rd round? 3rd round, right? It's a mid-round guy. All I'm saying is this, man. It is a reach. And do I think that it's going to happen? No. I'm a betting man. I give it 5%. 5% chance that he becomes a Raider. Or no, a 5% chance that he leaves Dallas in general. But if I am John Spytek, I'm making calls to at least see where we are with Micah Parsons, because Jerry came out once again and said, you guys, Dallas Cowboy fans, don't lose any sleep over this situation. And then he went to this weird Des Bryant and Jay-Z talk with Rock Nation. It was the weirdest. Jerry Jones just doing Jerry Jones shit. It's just weird. I don't know why any player would want to play for an owner like Jerry Jones. I don't get it. But if they move off of him, if Jerry just says, you know what, I'm sick of this shit, I don't want to pay him $40+ million a season. Well, guess what? If I'm Spytek, I'm making a call. What do you want? What do you want? Yes, you build great teams through the draft, you guys, but these kind of players, they don't grow on trees. If you can get a Micah and give up a couple of 1st-round picks and a player and maybe a mid-round guy, you're not giving up your entire next 2 draft classes. Like, real talk. Like, didn't we watch the Rams win a Super Bowl, you guys? And they just got rid of all their damn draft picks. They were just moving them everywhere. You take this, you take this, you take that. I'm just saying, if you could have Micah Parsons, you guys, simple and plain, he fits the timeline of not only what the Raiders are trying to do with the youth movement. He's only 26 years old. He'll be 27 next year, but he fits a position of need for the future. Because once again, what is Tyree at this point? We don't know yet. We do not know. And Malcolm Kuntz is on a 1-year deal, and he will have to be paid at some point as well. And Jonathan, this is the thing. I can't stand when people keep saying that as well. He says, Graphk, is it true that Micah has the same agent as Christian Wilkins? Well, yes. What does that mean? They don't get paid to be emotional. They get paid to get the big bucks, okay? If Micah Parsons says, hey, agent, I want to go to Vegas, no state tax, and I want to go play with Max Crosby. Do you think for once that his agent's going to say, no, they're playing with Christian Wilkins guaranteed money? I'll go a level ahead. I think that an agent, his relationship with the organizations is even more heavier than their clients. Let me say that again. I think that most of these agents, they value those relationships with the organizations over their clients, because clients come and go. If you can build a rapport with these organizations, the Raiders, whoever it is, you find a way to consistently have clients through their organization. You build the rapport. That does not mean anything. Once again, you guys, agents do not get paid to be emotional. They get paid to get the big bucks. And guess what? I know a few agents in football, and I've actually had conversations about this, and they agreed. You guys have met a few of them. You met one that's on the screen. That was, my brother. You know. So simple and plain, you guys. If you can get Micah, you go get Micah. It is what it is. You go get Micah. I don't care if it costs you this next year's first and the following year. I don't care. That is the kind of move you make to not only appease the fan base, but Max is going to be sitting there like, oh my God. Oh my God. I really have my best sparring partner opposite of me on the defensive line now, which would be Micah Parsons. And once again, I've seen them together before. They're very close. I've said this a million times on the show, you guys. Micah comes to Max Crosby's youth camps out here in the Dallas area and definitely comes through and supports what he does. They're close guys. Max would love to play with and Micah Parsons on this Raiders roster. What does he keep saying? I want to win. Well, guess what? Parsons is a win now move. That's why you make the move. Simple and plain. Everybody wants to relate this to Davante Adams. It's not a Davante Adams situation. Davante is a wide receiver. You know, he had a ton of stuff, you know, that happened here. Well, in Vegas when he was there, this isn't that kind of move. This is a premier pass rusher in Micah Parsons. This is not a guy that is 28, 29 years old at the time with Davante Adams trying to come over and win with his childhood team. This is a totally different situation. So what are we doing here? Salute to Larry. Dream World. Offer Genty? No. Jerry Les running backs next year, first and second. Add another second. No. Larry, appreciate you, brother. No. You keep Ashton Genty. You keep him around. He's the future at that position. And you wouldn't have to move mountains, i.e. Ashton Genty, to go get the likes of a Micah Parsons. They just drafted a running back. They just brought two veterans in free agency, Dallas and Jerry Jones. You know, it wouldn't necessarily cost you an Ashton Genty to make this kind of move. So you don't move off from Genty. He is your premier running back. He is the guy that's going to be your workhorse for, please, the next decade or so. So you don't move off from him to make this move. Salute the Floors. Like MP or not, this Raider line would be feared. There you go. It'd be instantly the best defensive line in football. Simple and plain. Make the move. If possible, you make the move. Salute the Floors, man. Salute to Sicko Mo. Graphk, who cares about the draft next year? We'll be picking 31st, 32nd next year anyway. Raiders, talk that shit, Sicko Mode. I am here for it as the weather just completely changes out here in Dallas. It is pouring down rain outside. Salute to my guy, Sicko Mode, man. The gods heard you. The gods heard you, Sicko Mode. Appreciate you on a $10 special. Salute to my guy, Raider Ryan, man. Salute Nation. I'll be in Newport, Oregon. Lincoln Chronicle front page for work representing our Raiders and my Raiders safety vest and hard hat. Salute to my guy, man. That's dope, brother. That is dope. Salute to you, Raider Ryan. Salute to my brother, Raider Squid in the building. Wipe them feet. Factory outlet, my brother. Salute to my guy, Squid. JT, Max and Parsons are tight. I'm not going to go that far. Damn, it's getting crazy out there. I'm not going to go that far. You know, nasty work, JT. We don't need another one of them type of situations. But I'll say this. They're close friends. They respect each other's work. You know, the pass rushing summit that Max throws annually, Micah's there. Once again, Max throwing his youth, you know, camps out here. Micah shows up, you know, does some work out there with him and other football, you know, other guys that pull up for the event. This would be a move to make if possible. Salute to my guy, Top Beats, my dog. Meredith indicated yes. So we're going to get there because it looks as though, you guys, Meredith is probably going to be the starting center. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I like Jordan Meredith a ton. And once again, I've stated that JPJ is the best center on this roster. Period, point blank, the end. But we heard some things yesterday, right? Salute to my boy Top Beats on the $20 special. I appreciate you, my brother. He definitely said, in his own words, this is coming from Jordan Meredith. I believe it was a presser yesterday at the scrimmage. They came up to me and said, get ready to play center. And I was like, okay, let's do it. He added that he began learning the ins and outs of the position during OTAs. So this is a guy that the coaching staff approached him early on in the offseason and mentioned playing center. Now, I don't know if JPJ was in the know about this because, once again, he stated a few times that he was the center. So I'm a little confused by the Ashton Genty introduction with JPJ and then him talking about on the Max Crosby podcast about the whole AP story and so on and so forth. So I don't know if this regime just thinks that JPJ can be an all-pro guard. I don't know. I know they're high on Jordan Meredith, but once again, they approached him, and this finally came out. I had no clue about this, that he was approached early on in the offseason about this. And he's out there getting first-team reps at the center position. You're seeing JPJ with the firsts at right guard, and then you're seeing Cap out there, and then you're seeing JPJ play with the twos. So there's so much, moving and shaking there at the offensive line, those spots right now. I just really don't know what the plan is, the big plan. But I'm starting to really believe that they really, truly want Jordan Meredith there. I don't know if it's because they think he's undersized and they'll get outmanned at the guard spot and they think that JPJ can hold it down there. I don't know, but I do know that they would want the best 5 starters out there on that O-line. And if they think that Meredith can get it done at the center spot and that, JPJ can be a better guard, who the hell am I to fight them about this? They know more than me. But all I'm going to say is this. It sucks because I do believe that JPJ can be a phenomenal, phenomenal center for us. I don't know if this is more about how they feel about the 2 guard spots than how they feel about the center position, or if they really truly believe that, JPJ is just a better guard than he is a center. I don't know. Maybe this could be they're not really that high on Parham or Kappa or any of those other guys there, or having Meredith at the guard spot. I don't know. We shall see. But salute to my brother Top Beats. There's no way he's better than JPJ. So in my opinion, all this talk about the best man will start is total BS. We'll see, Top. We'll see. Once again, we have not played a snap yet. We haven't even seen a preseason game up to this point. So JPJ still has every chance under the sun to go out there and win that spot, which I know JPJ would rather play center. But I also know that JPJ will do whatever is best for this football team in order to win games. So we'll see. We'll see where they are with this. But salute to Jordan Meredith, man. Moved over to center, and it looks as though, and I do believe he alluded to the fact that he did play a little center at the collegiate level, but he's still new to the position. So we'll see. Salute to my brother Top, man. Appreciate you, brother. Salute to everybody here. We got 800 people rocking, man. Salute to all my people. Wipe them feet, you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed yet. Salute, salute, salute. Convince me more, Graphk. Good, sir. I'm starting to lean. Salute to my guy, Xavier, man. Look, this is the thing, my brother. I'm not trying to convince anybody with this situation. I just believe that Micah can change the trajectory of this team immediately. I hope Malcolm Kuntz can go out there and build on what he did the year prior before he was hurt last year with the knee injury. I hope Tyree Wilson can go out there and be a dog this year for us on the D-line. You make a move for him, Micah Parsons, and guess what? Your defensive line is literally, there's no question marks anymore. You have 2 of the best edge rushers in football on one team. That makes Adam Butler's life so much easier, Jonah Lalu, Tyree, all these other guys. It makes their life a lot easier, and it makes opposing offensive line lives a living hell. So if Micah is a possibility, you make a call. I don't care what it costs, unless it's a Justin Genty or some crazy shit like that. I think that it would cost you the Khalil Mack package pretty much, right? Essentially a few first-round picks, maybe a couple mid-round picks, and maybe a player. If you could move off of a Tyree or something like that to kind of give Jerry a little, hey, man, here's a promising pass rusher. Maybe it'll ease the blow a little bit out here in Dallas with what you're trying to do. I don't know. But I'll say this. They lost, their big-time edge rusher who was a career Dallas Cowboy to the Seattle Seahawks this past offseason in free agency. I don't know if this fan base will survive losing him and then losing Micah Parsons back-to-back. I'm going to tell you right now, man, and I live in Dallas. Everybody out here is very, very pissed off with Jerry Jones and the way he's going about his business. So if you can find a way to call them and finesse them and maybe catch Jerry, in emotional wreck at this time and maybe be able to finesse him, make a call. Make a call. Let me see. Let me catch up real quick, man. Just Zen, baby. Salute to you, my brother, on becoming a member. If you guys want to become a member, hit the link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. And once again, you guys, I took the green screen down and all that good stuff because I'm officially about to move everything into the pod room, the pod space. With the preseason game right around the corner, me and Hammer calling it, I'm going to set up shop in the Raider room. So stay tuned. Justin, baby, appreciate you, brother. And salute to CGR, my dog, gifting 5 of them things. My God, man, one of the GOATs over here. I appreciate you so much. And then come on, man, my brother Top Beats pops up as well, gifting 10. We got 16 new members in the building just like that because of you guys. Top, my brother, I appreciate you, one of the Mod Fathers, one of the original Mod Fathers. Salute to my guy, Top. Salute to all the new members in the building because of my guys and my mods showing love. Man, if you guys missed out on those, hit the link. is pinned up top. It definitely, once again, helps us keep the lights on. Hey, man, Melina, you already know what we do. That's what we do. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Deflate Gate. Salute, Graphk. Been a minute, but hope you're thriving, King. I am, my brother. I am. Once again, I just left church with my sons. Got my coffee, getting ready to get the podcast room going. And then I'm getting ready to travel to Las Vegas next week. I will be out there for the Raiders-Niners game, you guys, and the alumni events. Salute to the Raiders organization. Salute to my brother Stu. Me and Stu will be out there. My brother B is flying out there. I will be with my brother L Fingers doing this new Raider anthem, so stay tuned for that. If you guys are in the area or at the Raider-Niners game and you guys are in the J-Lot and want to link up, have a drink, please, in the comment section. If not, if I don't get to them here, leave it on the video afterwards or DM me on Twitter at Graphk Raider or on Instagram, Graphk916. If you guys are local, I would love to meet up with you guys. Maybe we can do a quick meet and greet over at Barcode Cody's, Barcode Burger Spot. That's my home away from home. So if you guys are in the area, maybe if I can get 20 or 30 people or maybe even more than that, we can do a little meet and greet, have some drinks, have some food, and go hang out at Barcode. Let me know if you guys want to get down, man. I definitely would love it. Deflategate, my guy, appreciate you, my brother. And then salute to the GOAT himself. Hug said, I will not be outshined. My dog Hug, I appreciate you, brother, gifting 10 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, salute to you, and salute to all the new members in the building, man. Appreciate you, my brother. This name is disgusting. I'm just going to call it Buckets. We're just going to do Buckets, okay? I'm not going to do the whole shit. Parsons is a player many teams would build around. Facts. You would think the Cowboys would take care of him, right? I mean, they took care of Dak Prescott. They took care of CeeDee Lamb. I mean, they took care of the tight end. How do you not take care of Micah Parsons? It's crazy. And didn't Jerry say something along the lines of he missed 6 games last year? I think he missed 4. Like, Jerry, you're getting old, bro. You're getting old. Like, for you to not even know your star player, how many games he missed, the season before, and kind of use that as like a tactic to kind of poke him with a stick per se, in terms of negotiations. It's nasty work. Nasty work. But Buckets, this is facts. And that's a disgusting, terrible, terrible name. And I think that YouTube should take your account. But since you're here, I'll change my stance on that. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Salute to you, man. Yeah. And guess what, Malik? We've been there before, right? I love Al Davis. He is the GOAT to me. The greatest ever of all time. Players, owners, anything. He is the GOAT. But we've seen Al do this too. We've seen it happen with him as well. I got a chance to meet and see and speak to Jerry Jones at a coach's clinic not too long ago at the Star, about a month ago. And you could tell, you can see it, you can hear it. He's getting a little up there. He even spoke at the coach's clinic, and he was just kind of going on a tangent. You can kind of tell his brain doesn't operate the same it once did, and that's sad, what I mean? But yeah, man, the Cowboys organization, year in and year out, it can always be worse, y'all. It can always be worse. It can always be worse. Let me see. Salute to my guy Graham Cam. If we land Micah, him and Charles Snowden are going to battle it out. Graham, you're stupid, bro. You are stupid. Salute to my guy Graham Cam in the building. I don't know. I don't know, Trap. Look, I stayed away from him and that ruler, bro. I had a bunch of Raiders shit on, so I don't think that he really cared too much about my size, my brother. You know what I mean? But yeah, disgusting, nasty work from Jerry Jones. If you know, you know. Crazy. Real quick also, man, salute to my guy, Clarence. Just sent the $10 Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. He says for Bar A. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Salute to my guy, Clarence, on the $10 Cash App. Smackaroonie. My guy. Let me see. Some people seem to think giving a 31-year-old wide receiver a top 5. What's so crazy? Slam is that right now, and it's early, right? And yes, you're not really out there putting 150% into training camp right now. But it's crazy to see Philip Dorsett, the ageless wonder, out there making moves. right now at the wide receiver position. He caught a beautiful touchdown yesterday from Geno Smith. I know he caught a few at training camp, I believe, as well. So, hey, man, I initially was like, Philip Dorsett's not going to make this roster at all. And I still believe that. But to see him and hear that he's doing really good things out there, I mean, what is he, 33, 34 years old? Something along those lines? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Let me see. Get some questions in, you guys. Sky high, there's no reason for it, man. You still got some youngsters, men on that roster with Trey Taylor, Chris Smith. You still got Harper that can play a ton of safety for you. There's no real need to go out there and necessarily make a move for the likes of a Justin Simmons. It just, to me, doesn't make any sense. But hey, if they brought him in, I would love it. I mean, we went and got Jamal Adams. We went and got Devin White and Landon Roberts and Jalen Smith, right? I mean, we've got some guys that are up there in age, but I think that with Pete and what he's trying to do out there at the safety position, he's trying to get younger. He's trying to get more versatile. Simmons had a down season, of what he's accustomed to usually, right? In Denver, he was an all-pro guy. In Atlanta last season, he didn't look good opposite of Jesse Bates. So I don't think it's necessarily a necessity. Q says he's 32. There you go. Okay. There you go. Salute to my guy, JT. Micah made any statements today? Destination? No. I've not seen anything about Micah up to this point, outside of a few days ago putting up that tweet about, his reasoning of why he wants to leave now and that he requested a trade and that he loves the Cowboys fans and he wanted to retire, a Cowboy and so on and so forth. I have not seen him speak about anything outside of that day, right now. Nothing. But this is the thing, JT, and a lot of people, if Jerry refuses to speak to his agent, like, where do you go from there, JT? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you want to negotiate with the player. I've never heard this shit before, unless you're, a Richard Sherman or one of these guys, right? That, Lamar Jackson, guys that don't have representation and they represent themselves. Micah has a full-blown agent that works around the clock for his client. So I'm confused as to why Jerry thought sitting down with Micah and presenting, a few different options and throwing them on the table, like, hey, man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I don't know why you would assume that you're negotiating with a player when he has a full-blown agent at home. Yeah, Ron Justice, like, cut the middleman out. Like, bro, honestly, Micah's the middleman. Because that's not his job to speak business. It's his agents. So I don't know. Certain, for a minute, though, didn't Lamar represent himself? I could have swore he represented himself, but I could be wrong. But there are a few players out there that represent themselves and that don't have agents. And, that have done the work and they want every bit of money that they can get, which I respect it. Let me catch up real quick, man. Once again, salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history, man. Salute to my guy, Ruben Rust, on the $20 special. My guy, man. You guys are starting August off with a bang. Salute to the greatest chat once again in YouTube history. Love y'all, man. Thank you for everything that you do for the channel. Micah would be perfect Leo in the defense. He could play off ball, definitely, drop into coverage, and rush the passer. I know it's a stretch to get him. Pass rush would go crazy, and it would upgrade the linebacking core in certain situations. Rube, your lips to God, bro. Rube with a haymaker right here. Micah would be the perfect Leo in this defense. Play off ball, on the ball, dropping coverage, rush the passer. Yes, that's why you make these kind of moves. And that's why I am sitting here like so confused as to how Jerry Jones has not paid this man yet. It's actually kind of crazy. And Micah is no fool. He's still going to practice. He avoided the $50,000 fines daily for training camp. He's still out there. He's getting his money, and I respect it. But he's let his stance be known that he does no longer want to be a Dallas Cowboy. And if I'm John Spytek, once again, Rube, I am making calls and seeing what the hell Jerry may bite on. Pause if necessary. Salute to Spivey, man. My God, gifting 5 OLV Raiders Network memberships. My brother, the Kevin Nash of Mount Shillmore, my guy. Salute to all the new members in the building because of my brother Spivey, man. And salute to the almost 1,000 people rocking with me here in the chat. If you guys are on Twitter, salute to you guys. If you guys want to get involved in the chat, jump on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and become a member as well, man. The link's up top. It definitely, once again, helps us keep the lights on over here. Slam says, would you trade for Terry and pay 3 years? No, not at all. I like Scary Terry, but I definitely love what we have going on right now with these wide receivers. They're young. You know, Jacoby is due for an extension, and rightfully so. You take care of him. You got all your other guys on rookie deals. There's no reason to go make a move for Scary Terry. If you're gonna make a move, you make a move for Micah Parsons. See, this is the thing, you guys. Going to get Scary Terry is the old Raider move, right? You go get the big name wide receiver and you just hope it pans out, i.e. Antonio Brown, i.e. Randy Moss, i.e. Devontae Adams. The list goes on. And I'm not saying that Scary Terry is a guy that has a bad character. He's never had character issues. No, none of that. But why go make a move for a 30-year-old wide receiver when you already have your own 28? He'll be 29 here in another week, a month or so. And Jacoby, take care of him, pay him, and develop these young receivers. If you want a receiver, you can still go out there and get Amari Cooper, who's essentially the same age pretty much as Scary Terry. I mean, he's not going to give you the same production at this point, but Amari is what? I forget how many Pro Bowls he's been to. Was like 5 or something like that? 7 seasons of over 1,000 yards receiving. You know, we know firsthand with him. Go make a move for Micah. But if you want another receiver, which I don't think they do right now, they're just bringing in some camp bodies and seeing what they have. If they wanted a big name guy, there's still a few out there. The Gabe Davises of the world, the Amari Coopers, where you wouldn't have to spend $30+ million a season for at the age of 30. So no, Slam. If you're going to make a move, you make a move for the premier position, which is the edge rusher spot of Micah Parsons. If you can get that, you make that move. You make that happen. Seriously. He can be a dog for you for the next 7 seasons. For the next 7 seasons, potentially more. You know, depending on his health. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was nicked up last season, but he's been historically pretty healthy since he's come into the NFL. Salute to my guy, Just Zen, baby. Appreciate you, brother, on the $10 smackaroonie. Prayers up to Lonnie Johnson Jr. I feel for the kids. Seemed like he was having a good camp. This is facts, man. You know, he was saying all the right things once again. I want to retire a Raider. He even doubled down on Twitter yesterday, you guys. And he was just like, look, you know, I still want to remain a Raider. No, I want to retire a Raider. I don't know, you know, the probability of that because this is just a dirty game, the NFL, right? You know, if you're not ready, if you best ability is ability or availability. I'm over here butchering it, man. I need some more coffee. But, you know, it sucks to see that. It definitely sucks to see that, man. Once again, prayers going up to Lonnie Johnson Jr., man, a guy that is he would have been a rotational piece for us, but a guy that provides a ton of versatility, can play on special teams, can play the safety spot, can drop into the nickel, and just a bunch of different looks. Doesn't matter, Mike. I don't know why you guys keep mentioning this. I don't know why you guys keep mentioning this. And if you want to know my reasoning for it, rewind the show. But once again, last I checked, all, you know, money's the same anywhere. Money's the same anywhere. If the Raiders want to bring him in and make him the highest paid non-quarterback, guess what that agent's going to say? Well, guess we're headed to Las Vegas. As an agent, you cannot afford to have emotions. You cannot be emotional about that. You have one client that was doing weird shit in the locker room. Last I checked, Micah wasn't doing that. You have one client that allegedly didn't want to take the second surgery in order to get right for the upcoming season. The Raiders made a move, and I think they made the right move. Look, at this point, if Micah wants to be a Raider and Jerry is willing to play ball, that agent's going to say, get him to Vegas. Simple and plain. Does not matter. It's all about the money, Mike. It's all about the money, brother. So the buckets. And not everyone can eat on an offense like on a defense. Facts. Facts. Yep, there's only one football, right? Salute to my guy Buckets on the $2 smackaroonie. Salute to JT as well. on a $5 special. Have to be careful giving away first rounders. We need quarterback one in the next couple years. Geno won't be young forever. Devin White. Have to be careful giving away first rounders. We need a quarterback one. Where'd that come from? I just want to know, JT. I didn't see that. And knowing this came from you, I have to question this because JT is the resident troll over here at Shieldmore. So, yeah, I don't know why Devin White would even speak on anything like this. That's above his pay grade, literally, because he's on a super, super, super duper 1 year prove it deal. So, JT, I hate you. I love you. Get the hell out of my chat. Let me see. Yeah, Martin. And guess what? I've spoken to him. I talked to him the other day for a while. You know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call one of the top agents in football right now. Okay? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do.
Yo.
My brother, hey, I'm live right now. Hey, the chat is talking about this situation with Micah Parsons, right, having the same agent as Christian Wilkins. I need you to come on the show sometime, maybe next week or whenever you're available. I know football's back. I know you're busy. I need like 10, 15 minutes, bro. Pull up. And I want the agent organization relationship and then the agent and player relationship. I want to break that down to the crowd.
Yeah, because it's like these motherfuckers acting like just because they got the same age. I mean, fucking T. Higgins and Jamal Chase at the same agent, and they just got a deal done with the Bengals.
Paul, you are the GOAT, and this is why I need you to come on the show and break this shit down. My brother, look, enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to call you after this live. Let's set it up, and we'll get it right.
I probably could pull up tomorrow, honestly.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let me know what time frame, and we'll get you on the show.
All right, bro.
All right, my brother.
I got you.
All right, peace. Salute to Paul. Now, Paul represents a ton of football players. You know, he mentioned he had Jeffrey Simmons for a ton of years up to this season. He has Keon Coleman, Elijah Badger. He had Tyree, a ton of players, you guys, ton of players. So we're going to have him come on the show tomorrow, and we're going to talk about this. But once again, you just heard it from an agent. It does not matter. So we can kill that whole narrative of people keep saying this shit about, oh, they have the same agent. Who gives a shit? Who cares? You heard it from the horse's mouth, per se. Salute to my brother, Big Mike Raider, in the show. You know what, Mike? We gotta get that show rolling here again. I might have to have my guy on here when Paul comes through and breaks this thing down, man. So salute to my brother, Big Mike Raider. Let me see. Sometimes, Van City, sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? Let's just kill this with let's just pull a nuke out. Sometimes you got to pull the nuke out. Salute to Rube, my guy on the $10 smackaroonie. If we bring in Micah, is he getting a bigger bag? Yes, he will, definitely. What are the numbers looking like? Might have to send Malcolm or Tyree, definitely would. So we don't have that much money in the D-line. Now, this is the thing, right? And I know people don't want to hear this, and I included. I love Malcolm Kuntz. Love Malcolm Kuntz. I was one of the first people, and I'm going to say this again, in that class that talked about him. I didn't hear anybody talking about Malcolm Kuntz. I was going to war saying, Raiders, pick up Malcolm Kuntz. We got it, okay? He is going to need another contract next season. He signed a 1-year deal, okay? He's more proven than Tyree up to this point. He had a nice stretch of football in 2023 before he missed the entire season last year. So he's healthy now. If you had to move one of Tyree or Malcolm Kuntz, you probably would prefer Malcolm Kuntz, not only because of the contractual situation where he's going to need another deal next season, but he's a starter, okay? You keep Tyree around, he's still on a rookie deal. You still have an option of picking up the 5th year, down the line, and he's a rotational piece at this point. So if I am John Spytek and I'm making a call, about Micah Parsons, I'm saying, hey, well, I have a player, that Malcolm Kuntz, that I know you're probably very aware of. He's on a 1-year deal. He's not going to be demanding Micah kind of money, but he's a guy that played really well. Great stretch of football there in 2023 before the knee injury. He's healthy now. Kuntz may be the way to go. Also, just like you said, UA, right? Tyree plays inside and out as well. So he's a guy that provides more versatility. So if you can hold on to a guy on a rookie deal and move on from a Malcolm Kuntz, that would make a ton of sense. Now, once again, I love Malcolm Kuntz, you guys. Met him, good dude, plenty of jerseys signed from him. Malcolm Kuntz is my guy. But if you can get a Micah, hey, man, where do I sign? So salute the Rube. But you know what? He's going to reset the market, Rube. He's going to reset the market. He's a lot younger than TJ Watt. So he's going to get more money than TJ Watt. He will be the highest paid non-quarterback in football, period, when he signs his new deal. I don't know what that money looks like, but he will be the highest paid because not only production-wise, but he's very, very young, and he still has not even hit the pinnacle of his career yet. Micah can have, opposite of Max, 20 sacks next season, 20 plus. I'm telling you now, that's how good he is. Salute to my guy. We got over 1,000 people in the building, man. Salute to everybody here, man. Get those likes up, you guys. Wipe them feet. Mark says Dallas is going to get that Matt Capital. Hey, so be it. So be it. So be it. Micah's that good. Getting Micah would cost a lot. Salute to my guy, Soul Chef. Most would say too much, but if the organization thinks we can compete now and Geno can get it done, then go for it. Micah can change the defense and make us contenders the next 3 seasons and then some. So I agree with you. This is facts. You bring him in, you're instantly a contender. Like if you bring in Micah, you guys, you can talk about this division. Like we might be able to find a way to win this shit. That kind of pressure on Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, and Justin Herbert twice a season. Come on, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? That can put you in a position to potentially win your division. You go get a Micah Parsons. We're not talking about a 10-7. You could potentially win more than that, or a 9-8, or 8-9. You make a move for Micah, we're expecting results right now. Salute to Soul Chef. Appreciate you, brother, on the $20 smackaroonie, man. My guy. Salute to Mike as well. A trade deal is more affordable than Parsons. Well, let me say this, right? Trey is older. He's older. Honestly, you make this move because of Micah's age. Not only the production, standpoint, but because of the age. You're paying premier draft capital to bring in a guy that just turned 26, you guys, a few months ago. I think it was May. He literally was 25 like 3 months ago. So I hear you. Trade deal would probably be a lot less, and a guy that has a ton of production in the sack category, pause if necessary. I still think he'll remain a Cincinnati Bengal. At some point, he'll sign with them. But no, make a move for if you're going to make a move for a high-end, name at the edge rusher spot, it's Parsons. Simple and plain. Trey would love it, you know what I mean? But once again, what does that cost? What does it cost? And he's older. He's what, 30 years old? Something like that. So to my guy, Midnight Raider. I think Pete is satisfied with the offense. When interviewed about the offense, mentioned look at the points, getting a defensive player may be the right move. I don't want to mortgage the future. Yeah, and if you look right now, all the moves that we're making right now, Midnight, are really defensive moves. You know what I'm saying? Like you bring in Jamal Adams, you go sign Jermaine Pratt once he was, let go from the Cincinnati Bengals. We're still trying to, fill in the holes, fill in the gaps per se, pause if necessary on the defensive side of the ball. So, that's where you want to pinpoint. And Chip Kelly, man, from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing already, he's going to have that offense humming this season, you guys. I mean, they were killing it last night. And I know that the ones offensively were playing the twos defensively, but to see Geno already with the crazy connection with Brock Bowers, he had 2 touchdowns, I believe, yesterday. Crazy connection with Michael Mayer. Him and Jacoby are already like this. Found Dante in the end zone. Great chemistry with Trey Tucker already at camp. I mean, offensively, what do you really need? I think the only thing that they're trying to figure out right now is the offense and who's going to, make that back end of that running back group. You know what I mean? Is it going to be Zeus? Is it going to be Dylan, Sincere? There's not really too many question marks offensively right now. They're just trying to figure out what it is on that offensive line, what route they're going to go. Is Meredith going to be at center? Is JPJ going to be at center? Is this player going to be over here? This player over here? Offensively, I think that Chip is like, we're good to go. If you're going to make a major move, you make a move to go make your defense that much better. And that is a Micah Parsons, if available. And I don't think he's available at all. I think that Jerry is so stubborn and so stuck in his ways that he won't make this move anyway because he wants to save face. So I don't see it happening. But once again, if you can make it happen, you make a call and you just see what it will cost. Salute to my guy. Salute to Ask a Bum. Just got here. Micah ain't coming. I mean, look, bro, we have to talk about it because if you look at all these websites, CBS Sports, trade packages to bring in Micah, the Raiders are right there. You see DraftKings, Raiders plus 2,500. You see other betting odds that have the Raiders number one. I mean, a ton of them. Like the Raiders are in every discussion if Micah Parsons is moved. And the odds are very, very on our side, in a sense of if he's available, we could potentially bring him in. Now, would Spytek make this kind of move? I don't know. But we have to talk about it. I agree with you. I don't think Micah's coming to Vegas, but once again, we have to speak on it. We have to speak on it. He played his career already in the NFL, you guys, in a no state tax state, Texas. I think that he would like to continue his career doing the same in entering a state like Vegas where all his money he can protect that. Salute to my brother Rube once again, man. I appreciate you, man. Rube coming through and blessing the channel today like crazy. Do the Micah allegations from Penn State worry Spytek, especially after Wilkins? No, I don't think so at all. Remember, Micah was top 3 talent in the draft, but had crazy allegations from teammates. I do remember this. I could be wrong, but I think it was a sexual assault, hazing accusation. I remember this like it was yesterday because I was sitting there watching this guy continue to drive. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But yes, Rube, I don't think that this is going to play any part in what Spytek would do at all. You got to remember too that the Christian Wilkins situation isn't only the alleged stuff that's going on, the weird stuff that was going on in the locker room. It's also coming back from a Jones fracture and allegedly not wanting to rehab or not getting the way they wanted him to, or getting a so-called second surgery. So there's more to the piece. There's more pieces to the puzzle with Christian Wilkins than there is with Micah. And I can tell you this firsthand, living in Dallas, I've not heard anything bad about Micah Parsons. I literally live right down the road, you guys, from the Star where they practice. So I've not heard anything bad. The only thing that I've heard about Micah that some fans don't like is him being so vocal on his podcast on Bleacher Report. That's the only thing that I've heard up to this point about Micah Parsons that fans don't like, was him being vocal on Bleacher Report with his podcast about what is going on with his team. That's the only thing. Now, maybe Spytek wouldn't like that. Maybe Pete wouldn't like that. Maybe that would stop them from trying to bring in a talent like Micah Parsons. But I don't think that specific situation, Rube, would stop anything, stop Spytek or anybody to at least sniff around and see if they can bring in the likes of a Micah Parsons. Salute to my guy, Rube. Great comment, brother. Great comment. And I see a lot of people also saying that, we're good to go with Malcolm Kuntz. We're good to go with Tyree, and we're good to go with Max, right? Well, that's good. I mean, but there's always something that's better than good, you guys, and it's called great. Last I checked, the mantra is just win, baby. It's commitment to excellence. It's not being good. It's being great. So I know a lot of people's argument is we have a good defensive line. Well, guess what? We can have a great defensive line. You bring in a Micah Parsons if available. If available. I have to keep saying that because people think that I'm sold on this idea that he's super available. I'm saying this. A good defensive line, great defensive line. I'll go over here. Simple and plain. Salute to my guy, Rube, man. Once again, on a $20 splash. Salute to A-Train, my guy. Micah makes us a playoff team at edge, though. Our secondary is still suspect. I put him at linebacker. He can cover guys as well. To use him at DE is not worth the money, in my opinion. He's a true linebacker. Raiders, you can use him all over. I mean, he's a chess piece, A-Train. And what have they done this offseason. They brought in Jamal Adams, moved him to linebacker. They got Jeremy Chin, brought him in free agency. They have him moving everywhere. The slot, coming down the box, safety spot. They want guys that they can move around a ton. And yes, we're a playoff team with Micah Parsons. Simple and plain. The only way this doesn't happen is if the offense just completely shits the bed and they can't score, which I don't see happening. If you bring in Micah Parsons, look, I expect to win a playoff game. Simple and plain. Maybe even more than that. He's that good. And you say the secondary is still suspect. We don't know yet, A-Train. We haven't seen these guys play it down yet. But I'll say this. Who benefits the most from Max Crosby and Micah Parsons rushing off the edge? A-Train? Who benefits the most? The secondary. Micah Parsons makes whatever guys starting out there life a lot more easier. Max coming off the other edge makes the secondary's life a lot easier. So I hear you. I understand you, brother, and I appreciate you on a $10 smack and Rooney, but still, I have to disagree with you, man. Yes, they may be, but the secondary would definitely benefit from the likes of a Micah Parsons rushing opposite of Max Crosby. Simple and plain. Let me see. Alex says Greedy looked solid yesterday. Hope he makes the roster. Facts, man. Facts. Hearing really good things about the UDFA out of USC, man. Hopefully he does find a roster spot. How, Daniel? Like how? How? How do you lose Jacoby if you sign Parsons? And to be honest, I mean, do y'all really want to hear what I have to say about this, or do you want me to be politically correct? Let's just say you're right, Daniel. Let's just say you're right? So? Some of y'all may hate me for this. So? And? Love Jacoby. You mean to tell me, Daniel, you wouldn't swap Jacoby Myers right now for Micah Parsons? You just drafted Jack Besh. You just drafted Dante Thornton. You just moved Tommy Mellott to the wide receiver position for the quarterback position. You're telling me you wouldn't swap Jacoby for Micah Parsons? Daniel? Damn, Daniel. Come on, man. What are we doing here? The GOAT said, check Insta real quick. Salute to my mom, father. Sent me a photo. I'll stay with the Cowboys only if they pay me what I'm worth, because I know there won't be a championship here. But if the Raiders call, I'll gladly take a pay cut for a real shot at glory. Yo, with me in the background. That's hilarious. That's funny, bro. Salute the hug, man. My dog. Yes, UA. Definitely. Besh makes Jacoby expendable, for sure. But once again, who's the better player? It's Jacoby, at least right now, right? And this is not me saying you guys to move Jacoby. I'm just stating the obvious here. If you lose Jacoby to get Micah, I mean, what are we doing here? But that's not even true. It's not. There's so many ways to manipulate the cap, you guys. You can pay Jacoby and Carlson right now and make a trade for said player, Micah Parsons, and give him a beautiful extension. That's just not true. It's not true. That's not true, though, Hug. That's a fake quote. It's a fake quote. Rube says, now the number one question would be, does Micah want to be a Raider? I see he was wearing a Crosby shirt to practice. Yes. I don't know if that has to do with us or because he got paid. What are the top odds? Maybe Vegas knows something we don't. Well, a ton of websites betting odds have the Raiders at number one. And then I believe, which one was I just looking at right now? DraftKings have us at like plus 2,500, tied for like seventh. But also, you guys, this is a terrible I mean, why would the Eagles be at plus 1,000? I mean, honestly, do you think that Jerry Jones would trade Micah Parsons to his home state where you can go play for the team that he rooted for in the Eagles? Do you really think that would just cap off the worst offseason ever imaginable for Jerry Jones? That's why I don't go off of DraftKings. The Eagles plus 1,000? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what are we doing here? You think that Jerry – let's just go ahead and send Max Crosby to the Kansas City Chiefs, you guys. Coming off of a Super Bowl win. But there's a ton of websites, Rube, that have us at number one. And you know what? I'm going to bring up one real quick that I had on Twitter. I believe it was it Bovada? Bovada had us at number one. Hold on. Let me go to my site. Let me go to my my Twitter real quick. There's a few of them that have the Raiders at number one. But let me bring this one website up. This is where I tagged Max. Let me see. Once again, you guys, salute to everybody here in the building. As always, appreciate every single one of you guys for rocking with me. Do me a favor, man. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys are not subscribed yet, what are y'all waiting on? Hit that subscribe button. So Bovada official has the Raiders at plus 500. This one makes more sense. Micah Parsons' next team odds. Raiders plus 500. Browns plus 600. They have some money there. They just signed Myles Garrett, but you know, once again, they have a ton of question marks on the offensive side of the ball. I can see Cleveland double down, you know, on the defense. The Jets plus 600 makes sense. Cardinals definitely plus 700. Titans plus 750. So these are some teams that have that have salary cap right now. The Eagles don't. So once again, I don't know what the hell they're thinking right now with them. But yeah, Bovada has us number one. Salute to my guy Rube. No, and it's not Hug. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real, my brother. Nah, you the GOAT, man. Salute to Montgomery in the building. You're the GOAT. Alex, either him or Malcolm. Him or Malcolm Kuntz. It's just depending on what, you know, Dallas would prefer if they made a move for him. Let me see. So we'll get off the whole situation here in terms of Micah Parsons. Once again, you guys, it's so far-fetched. I don't see Micah leaving Dallas at all. But if he does, I do believe that the Raiders will be one of the teams in the mix to bring him in. We're one of the only teams that has, you know, draft capital and salary, you know, to make it happen. I can see the Chargers potentially. Khalil Mack has 1 year left. He's probably going to retire after this season. So, you know, there's a few teams. The Patriots, you know, can potentially – they still have a ton of money left, and they revamped that defense. But I do believe that we would be a team at least in the hunt if Jerry makes him available. So stay tuned. I want to go over some of the stuff yesterday, you guys. It looks as though Geno looked really good out there. Connection with Brock Bowers for a few touchdowns. Dante came down with one. Philip Dorsett had a long bomb touchdown. I believe that specific play, or was the Dante one, where it would have been a sack on Geno Smith. So I got to kind of, you know, pump the brakes on the excitement levels. But it looks as though the first-team offense was balling yesterday, which is a good sign of things to come. I'm hearing really good things about Ashton Genty out there. Brock, future GOAT, doing GOAT shit. Michael Mayer just, once again, continuing to have a great offseason. The Rooks looking good. I didn't really hear a ton about Jack Besh. I seen Tucker out there a few times. What else? Max, the strip sack, took it to the crib for 6, which was great. For those who didn't see that play, he caught Aiden O'Connell for a sack, pause if necessary, strip sack, took the ball, took it to the crib, slam dunked it in the field goal post, which was beautiful. For those that were out there in attendance, I know you guys definitely enjoyed that whole stuff. Mostly, yes, I heard some good things about Cam Miller as well. Kept hearing that his athleticism was on full display. That's what I kept hearing about Cam Miller. So that's a good thing. I heard that Dylan, our guy, Dylan looked good out there as well, getting some reps in with Cam Miller. Just good things right now, man. It was just a mock scrimmage kind of simulation. So once again, you guys, I'm not going to buy into the hype too much. But the thing that I took out of yesterday the most was Chip Kelly's offense. Chip Kelly's offense. Like, this is clear cut different than what we have seen in recent memory. This is probably going to be the most firepower offensively that we've had since Gruden, and even then it was like still like, we need to do better than this offensively, right? I'm hoping that this could be a 2016-esque type offense, but I'm going to, bring the expectations down a little bit. Year one with Chip Kelly, a bunch of rooks, they're still trying to figure out the O-line, but Chip Kelly and Ron Justice, I love that as well. Give Olsen his flowers too. He's been working with Geno, working with Aiden, working with Cam Miller, our quarterbacks coach. Definitely want to give him some praise as well. But I am loving from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing out of that offense with Chip Kelly running the show. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just excited. I can't wait to see Seattle next week. We finally get a chance to see what this thing looks like. It's going to be a bunch of backups, you guys. I'm not expecting, first team, maybe a series, maybe two tops. I'd be shocked if they got two series. But the offense, coming off of last year, we had the worst run game in football, and we struggled, just struggled offensively as a whole. I'm expecting way, way different results offensively this year with Chip Kelly running that O, man. So I'm excited. Would you rather have Genty or Bowers? Pick one. Man, you know what, man? It's difficult to not take Brock, but I'm going to take Genty because I'm a guy that likes to take a running back there with my first pick. I've taken wide receivers there before, but they're already utilizing Genty. For those who didn't see, they lined him up at wide receiver a ton yesterday too. Like, they're not just talking about wanting to get him involved with the offense in the passing game. They're actually putting it on full display that Genty is going to be involved in the passing game, whether it's out of the backfield or lining up at the wide receiver position. So I'm taking Genty over Bowers because I think that Genty will get more touchdowns. He'll get more goal line looks. He'll be more, once again, he's a dual threat guy in this offense now because they're going to utilize him in the passing game, and he's going to run a ton as well. So I take Genty for sure over Brock Bowers. A salute to both of them, though, but great problem to have if they're both available there, depending on where you draft in your, in your fantasy. Let me see. Yeah, Isaiah, you got to stack them running backs. I'm in fantasy football for real, for real. Alex says JT Woods was getting a lot of reps with the ones. Facts. Peter said it, you guys, that he likes what he provides, measurables wise. He kind of fits that billing of what Pete wants out there at the DB spot. So I'm not opposed to JT being a heavy rotational piece out there at the cornerback position. And once again, JT Woods is a guy that's played safety as well, you guys. So he's just a complete DB. So this is a guy that, remember, Lonnie Johnson is out. This is a guy, JT Woods, that can potentially add some value there as well. So I wouldn't be shocked if JT Woods found a way on the 53-man roster now with some of the situations that we're dealing with at this point. Rube, I loved Thayer's presser this week. Said Chip knows when to call plays and put them in position to make plays. Chip is a great offensive mind. Facts. And Rube, you know this more than anybody. You keep your eyes on the UCLA products, a ton. He coached out there. More than anybody about Chip Kelly and what he can do. Brilliant offensive mind. I'm here for it. I'm excited. But yes, Thayer definitely praised Chip a ton during his presser a few days ago. Philip Dorsett. You know what, Philip? Let me say this. Why'd you unfollow me when you became a Denver Bronco? Why'd you unfollow me when you became a Denver Bronco, Philip Dorsett? We had the interview lined up, the date, the time. Next thing I know, you're no longer a Raider. You're a Denver Bronco. And you unfollow. Keep that same energy, Philip. Let me see. Once again, man, salute. Get a few more questions in you guys before we get out of here. Graphk, not sure if you answered this, but what's your thoughts on the whole JP? I'm still confused, Alex. I mean, once again, I said it on the show earlier, Jordan Meredith being asked to play center earlier in the offseason, which I didn't know. I didn't know about this conversation. So this sounds as though it's like a foregone conclusion that they want JPJ at the guard spot. So maybe it wasn't an accident when Adam Butler said that JPJ can be an all-pro guard. So I don't know. I don't know, but I'm still one of them people, man, that is very upset that JPJ potentially won't be the starting center. I think that he is a phenomenal Remington winning center. And I don't know. But hey, man, you know what? I'm going to trust the process. What do I know? Brandon Carroll, Joe Philbin, Chip Kelly. It's on these guys to put out the 5 best players at whatever position it is. So I'm going to pump the brakes. We'll see where this thing goes. Talk. Primo's day one was a snooze fest. Outside of Seth cashing in, which I think everybody knew, it was the most predictable shit in the world. I love when he threw the crutches, though. That was like the icing on the cake. It was like a great SummerSlam moment. But day one was terrible. Tiffy, Jade, terrible match. The Jelly Roll match was fun. It was fun to watch. So WWE, it's fun to watch. Day 2 is going to be a movie. So I'm here for it. I'm actually about to get my pizza and my food together here in a second and get ready for day 2. Salute to Rube one more time on another $20 special, my God. Last offseason, we were talking about how dominant the defense was against Getsy's offense, and people kept saying the new offense, they'd get the hang of it. Chip and PG already trading blows. Young, back and forth, top 12 offense. Talk that talk, my brother. Rube, talk. This is facts, my brother. Salute to you, man. Salute to you, my brother. Yes, I'm excited to see with this offense. And remember last season, yes, there was a ton of the defense is getting the better part of the offense. And then, we kind of seen why, right? Pillaging, no, brother. Rooting for everybody, but no, not at all. Let me see. Foxdale says, my 2025 bold prediction is 12-5. Our first playoff win since 2002. Go Raiders. Salute to my guy. JPJ already expressed how center was his position, and these guys have him get reps at the second string guard spot. But he's also been playing with the ones as well, Alex. So let's not act as JPJ is going to start. There's just no way in hell that he's not going to start. Coming off of, a promising rookie season, second round guy. I know that he's a different regime. Tom Telesco brought him in. But come on, man. He's been tied to Max Crosby's hip. I don't think that there's in any way, shape, or form a way where he doesn't start. He either starts over Parham at the left guard spot, or he starts over Alex Kappa at the right guard spot, or he starts over Jordan Meredith at the center position. I just don't know in any world where he doesn't start at that offensive line. That would be kind of crazy. Actually, not kind of crazy. It'd be absolutely insane. Salute, Mark. In my opinion, Geno has a better offense with us than he did with Seattle. Well, I'll say this. I mean, he's going to have a better run game for sure. You got Genty, a potential generational player at that position. You have a ton of young guys with speed on the boundary with Tucker and Dante. You have Jacoby, who's been a proven commodity up to this point at 28 years old, coming off his first season with 1,000 yards receiving. You have Brock Bowers, a generational tight end. And then you have Michael Mayer, a guy that also could be potentially a tight end 1 on most teams. Yes, I'm saying it. He's that good. People forget how good Michael Mayer is because of Brock Bowers. And I'm talking about even at the collegiate level, because he was at Notre Dame shining and Brock was just killing it at Georgia. He's kind of always been overshadowed by Brock Bowers. This is a phenomenal offense, a better O-line, better running back group. Yes, I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. I totally agree. Let me see. Gio says, I'm going to put it on JPJ, though. If that was your spot, why didn't you prove without a doubt, make it impossible for them to move you? Clearly, he didn't, and Meredith shows something. Well, we don't know this yet, though, Gio, because apparently early on in the offseason, they went to Jordan and Meredith. They approached him with this idea of him playing center. So maybe they already just seen JPJ playing guard. I don't know. But once again, you guys, what did they do during the draft, Gio? What did they do? What did they do? They had 95% of Raider Nation believing that Mimbu or Kelvin Banks was going to be a Raider. Got off the whole Genty train, and next thing you know, pick 6, the Raiders select Ashton Genty, right? there was a ton of question marks of they're going to go get Shedeur Sanders. One call, Geno Smith is a Raider. These guys have been proven to know how to manipulate the system per se and know how to put certain things out into the universe and say this, and that, and it's something else. So I don't believe any of this until week 1. If JPJ is not the center, the first snap, when that offense sees the football field against New England on the road week 1, that's when I believe it. That's when I believe it. Let me see. He says, I don't really care for opinionated rankings, but did you see the Raiders coaching staff was ranked 9th best in the NFL by ESPN? Okay. I'll say this. Results. On paper, definitely agree. Top to bottom. You go get Dylan to be your running backs coach. He worked magic with that ground game in Notre Dame. And I know as a Fighting Irish fan that we got a way better running backs coach with Dylan in the mix over Cadillac. I don't know what, Brendan Carroll was at this point, but he's Pete's son. So, but Chip Kelly calling the offense, highest paid OC. Pete Carroll won everywhere that he went. I mean, Rob Leonard, phenomenal defensive line coach. I agree. I think that this could be a top 10 coaching staff. But once again, we're in a results-driven league, you guys. A results-driven league. I need to see it to believe it. On paper, definitely have one of the better coaching staffs in football. You add Pete Carroll by himself, and automatically you're like, this is a great coaching staff. But then you add Chip Kelly, Dylan, you keep Rob Leonard around, you bring Patrick Graham back. I mean, yes, this definitely on paper is a top 10 coaching staff. But once again, we're in a results-driven league. I need to see it to believe it. So, but other than that, man, appreciate you guys so much. I gotta get my son's lunch and stuff ready to go and then get rolling with this SummerSlam stuff. We'll be back tomorrow, you guys. Stay tuned. Coffee and Convo. Also, we'll have the AFC West show returning on Tuesday. We'll have a few more guests on. You'll see a Graphk and Big Mike, Graphk and Hammer, Graphk and Waster show. The guys will be back full swing this upcoming week, so stay tuned for that as well, you guys. But you guys have a phenomenal weekend, man. I hope and pray that you guys are happy, safe, just in a good space in your lives. It's a beautiful Sunday. Wherever you guys are, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. As always, love. Appreciate you all. I'm going to get out of here. 1.